Hello learners, welcome to session 5 of unit 3. In the previous session, we looked at formal and informal assessment. In this session 5, we are looking at norm referenced and criterion referenced tests. I am Munkaila Dasmani, your course instructor. By the end of this session, you should be able to explain the difference between criterion referenced and norm referenced tests. Let's look at norm reference tests. Tests can be categorized into two major groups, and that is the norm reference test and then the criterion reference test. So these tests differ in their intended purposes. So by the end of this session, we look at it, we see the main differences between the two types of tests we have according to this study. So norm reference tests are designed to highlight achievement differences among students. So according to Students 1994. So once you want to identify student achievement or learning difference among students, the norm reference test is the one to take. Its main purpose is to rank each student with respect to the achievement of others in broad areas of knowledge, and that to discriminate between high and low achievers. So here you can say that when you have A1, you are high achiever, those with D7, they are low achievers. So norm reference tests are very important. And at the end of the test, you will be able to differentiate between students with high and low achievers. Okay, that's to rank students across a continuum of achievement. So A1 being the highest, B2 being the second, B3, C4 in that order, or some schools A, B, C, D in that order. So you can see 90 is the highest, followed by 80, followed by 60 in that continuum. So it's very important as far as the norm reference test is concerned. So let's look at types of the norm reference tests, or that's the norm groups or comparison groups. The groups you can compare, the groups you can compare as far as the norm reference test is concerned. So we have at least 3 of them here, groups we can compare. The first one is the class or school. So if you want to compare the class or maybe the entire school, you can use a test, and that one you can group them according to achievers. I remember my former school when I was in secondary school. At the end of semester, at the end of term exams, you had 3 terms, term 1, term 2, not the semester like today. So at the end of every term, you combine all of students, they rank them, they put it on notice board. Then you can see the one of the first of all in the whole school, second in that order. So based on that, you can see the difference between, or you can see how the achievers have been arranged. Also, school districts. We have some district quizzes, district examination, district mock, and the rest. So that's also, you can also have that group, and you also have the national samples. So the scores are interpreted by comparing each individual with other examinees and assign a score, usually expressed as a percentile, a grade, equivalent score, or maybe that is it. So either percentile, as I said, 90, 80, 100, you can see the one who had 80% or 100%, 90 is the highest, the one with the lowest, and then maybe grade A, B, C, D in that order. So that is the norm reference group. The next type of the test is the criterion reference test. It's where test scores are compared not to others but to a given criterion or standard of performance. The main purpose is to determine whether each student has achieved specific objectives, scores, or concepts, and to find out how much students know before instruction begins and after it has finished. So that is a criterion reference test. So each specific objective in the syllabus is considered as a criterion to be mastered by the student. Just before you start teaching whatever in the syllabus, you should know what the students know before you start. Yeah, RPK. After knowing that, you also after the objective you are teaching, After you are done, you should conduct exercise to know if students have understood the concept. So each objective is considered to be a criterion reference test. Okay, so that is the criterion reference test. So now you see the difference between the norm reference test and the criterion reference test. Okay, so in this session, we should look at the criterion reference test and the norm reference test, and we have explained them. So go to your course outline and then find more. You can find more also online, and then cultivate the habit of reading from internet. It's also good, but not all the sites are credible. Make sure you are on the credited sites. Okay, thank you very much for your time, and then meet for the next session.